Recently, I've seen a lot of other people do videos with AI. So I kind of wanted to have fun with it as well. So I asked ChatGPT to tell me what to build in Minecraft. It actually gave me a bunch of ideas, but the one that caught my attention was the spaceship. Now, before I continue, I will say I did end up building a rocket ship and not a spaceship, so let me know if you want me to actually build a real spaceship in the future. But I thought this one was the most captivating and most interesting because most of my builds are very like cottage core, like really cute, and so I thought this would be a nice way to challenge myself. So let's get into my actual build. So the first thing I did was mark out these 4 corners because I initially wanted to make 4 sets of staircases going up into the ship, and I thought it would be cute to use that gilded black stone, which I have to say, it is adorable. I definitely have to use it more often, much more often than I do now. But I ultimately decided against this, but I thought I'd show you my humble beginnings. I also built a platform right around it, but I decided it was way too low to the ground, so it was quickly changed to much higher up. It is something that goes into space, so it would make sense that it would have like a larger launch pad than the one I originally put. After that, I built walls around it, and I wanted it to go up to a point. Looking back, I definitely would have made it much more circular. Usually when I go into building bases and other builds, I think of like squares and rectangles, probably because it's Minecraft and everything's blocks. But looking back, I think it would be a lot better if it was much more circular than I made it. After this, I then added some end rods shooting up from the top. I originally was actually going to use beacons, but I really didn't like the look of like having the beacon coming out of the top of it. I mean like the actual like base of the beacon. So I just used end rods instead, and I think it works well. I don't love that there's the little like platforms that they stand on, but I think that like from a distance it like can be fun and interesting. It looks like it's shooting something into space. Maybe it's tracking its like future path. Then I added some more gilded black stone to the base of it because I just thought it would be really pretty. And then I got started on these stairs coming from the outside. I ultimately got rid of these like immediately after I put them down. To be honest, it just didn't look right the way that it was so far out. I don't think any of the stairs looked right pointing that far out. I think it makes it too wide of a build, and so I like immediately got rid of it. But putting these in were not easy. For some reason I decided to use slabs instead of actual stairs, and it just made it so annoying to go the back and forth. But yeah, it was ultimately a bad decision. Then I put some little like feet like things, blocks on the bottom of it. I thought that could be fun because it like gives it more dimension, so it really like doesn't just look like a big box in the sky. It was like closer to a tree house at that point, and I thought that would be fun. And plus, I'm pretty sure like they have that type of feet, like to make sure it like lands correctly. And I was trying to give it some more dimension. If you notice that I took some of the corner blocks out, but it just ultimately didn't look right. I would have to redo the whole thing for it to be make it more circular. Can't just take out a few blocks. I really like that I added that just because it does add some more dimension. I also added some bottom kind of blocks underneath the base, so it looks like it has more structure to hold up an entire spaceship. I then added some different blocks along the entire spaceship because I wanted it to look like it had been used and like there had to be repairs and stuff. I even used some of the bricks that are like cracked in it because I really wanted it to look like it was real, and I think that's a really good way to like make your build look more realistic, is to have all those different colors, because I'm imagining, especially because this is just like a random field, that maybe they don't have like the most experience and they're like building this from scratch, that type of thing. And then I actually used the tinted glass to make windows because I wanted to have windows so you could look outside while you're in it, but I didn't want like it to be like clearly just like some boring windows. I wanted it to really fit like with all of the dark exterior. And then I went in and built a water elevator, which I am imagining that it could like retract up into the ship. I do not have the redstone ability or knowledge or anything to actually make that happen, so we can just pretend. But I built a water elevator, and this was the first time I've ever built one, so I was a little bit nervous about it, but it worked perfectly the first time somehow. I did look up a tutorial, but knowing me, things are gonna go wrong. Then we finally get to the inside, and the first thing I had to do was completely redo the floor because I originally made it out of slabs, except they're all bottom slabs, so nothing was going to stick stick to it. And then I decided to add this little platform in the middle because I was thinking it's like the center control center station, and so I thought it would be nice to have it like glowing, and then putting a bunch of different white blocks around it. I wanted to have it be light inside to really contrast like the dark exterior. I thought that would look nice. And then I put item frames with buttons in them, so it's like little switches and dials, and like made some of them glow frames so it looks like they're like lit up, so they're actually doing something. I used the clock and directional compass. What's it called? All compasses are directional. Geez, the recovery compass. There we go. Because I thought that could be like nice because it like is moving all the time and stuff. And then same with the repeaters, comparators, and redstone dust. I thought it would be a nice like addition, so it looks like they're really doing some important work in here. And lastly, I added some stairs at the bottom because I pictured them as like little seats for takeoff and landing. And that is the completed build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought this was really fun. I'm so glad I did it because I never would have thought to build something like this. I love building bases. I love building homes, so it was nice to do something much more industrial, and I actually really love the way that it turned out. I think it's really cute. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe down below. It truly helps me out immensely. I love all of you, and I will see you all next time.